Hello and welcome to Stateline. I'm Kathy Boland. First this week to a row that's brewing in Western Victoria over claims the government has reneged on a vital election promise. The row centres around calls for the area to have a locally based rescue helicopter. It's the only region in the state which doesn't have one. And locals say lives are being lost because of the delays involved in airlifting critically injured patients to Melbourne. A lobby group's been raising awareness and funds for over a decade and says it's time the government honoured its pledge to set up a working party to assess the region's need for a rescue chopper. Mary McDonald reports.
She's not here, but you still see her every day, so...
Horrific.
What I mean, yeah, just in memories and that sort of thing. But, yeah, it's not the same, it never will be.
Any nice moments that you have with the family, there's also that's very tinged with wish she was still here to share it.
Life as Stephen and Dominique Fowler knew it came to a startling and painful halt on the 21st of December last year. It's the day their 18-year-old daughter Alicia was involved in a deadly car accident.
And she was going to Warrnambool to meet a friend, and she called in home and dropped some milk off. She'd actually bought in town. And then just, yeah, went out the door and see you, love you, ta-da. And, yeah, next thing we received a phone call from a friend in Warrnambool that said she hadn't arrived.
And we went down and had to pass the accident scene. We were diverted around it. And I was pretty upset at this stage because I saw the car.
Alicia was taken to the Warrnambool Hospital by road ambulance, but it was clear that she had to be flown to Melbourne for specialist treatment. There's no rescue helicopter in Victoria's southwest, so a fixed-wing air ambulance from Essendon Airport flew to Warrnambool to pick up the critically injured teenager. The whole process took about 6 hours.
There was your stretcher change from the accident scene to the ambulance, and then an ambulance went to the Warrnambool base and they made another stretcher change into the hospital, and then we saw the next two. Then she would have landed at Essendon Airport and there would have been another stretcher change from that plane to the ambulance, and then she would have been taken by road ambulance to the Alfred Hospital and there would have been another stretcher change there.
Some stretcher changes can take up to 45 minutes due to the delicate condition of a seriously ill patient.
It's all about time. I'm sure if you speak to any health professional, they'll tell you that the principle of the golden hour is the one that they use. And if you can get a patient to intensive care or critical care within 60 minutes, their chances of surviving or having much less trauma are greatly enhanced.
Medical experts say a helicopter based in the area would mean a more direct route to an intensive care unit, saving valuable time.
The fixed-wing aircraft can't be at the accident scene. Once they come to our hospital, we have found that the best time from when we notify the Melbourne Hospital that a transfer is needed is 5 hours at the very best, and often it'll take longer.
Eastern Victoria is served by a state government-funded helicopter in the Latrobe Valley, and the northern parts of the state are covered by one in Bendigo. Residents in Western Victoria must rely on the Bendigo helicopter, a fixed-wing air ambulance from Essendon, or the police helicopter based in Melbourne.
My impression is, after being here working for 7 years, being on call all the time, that there have been cases where the delay has definitely been detrimental, and it's very hard to define whether deaths have occurred, but I suspect that that has been the case.
This whole area here would be where we would build a base. The community has pledged up to $750,000.
The push to have a rescue chopper based at Warrnambool has been going on for more than 10 years. A lobby group was set up and numerous submissions have been made to the state government over the years.
Our demand analysis that we commissioned last year showed that there was a potential demand for 415 missions a year, which we gave to the government as a starting point for discussions about the issue. But of course, nothing has transpired from that.
Unions are also backing the campaign.
We've got major industry in this region. It ranges from the aluminium smelter. We have a new plant of mineral sands up in Hamilton now. There's 3 gas plants at Port Campbell. And, you know, basically in Gippsland they have a helicopter down there. And the main reason for them having a helicopter down there was because of the industry they have down there. And we've obviously got a lot of industry down here now, and all of a sudden our workers seem to be classified as second-class citizens for whatever reason.
Before the election, the government promised to form a working party with the West Vic lobby group to look at the viability of the project. But the group says the new Police and Emergency Services Minister Bob Cameron is now backing away from that commitment after publicly stating that there is no demand for the service.
There hasn't been a business case in the past, it's only been information that's been provided, and what we've said is that we will need to consider a full business case. We'll wait to receive that.
How come all this money gets thrown at events like the Grand Prix, but a serious thing like a chopper and the potential of how many lives it can save, you know, injury, all that sort of stuff, yeah, just beggars belief.
Alicia Fowler never regained consciousness after the accident and died in the Alfred Hospital 17 days later.
They're world leaders in trauma at the Alfred, and they say their biggest hassle or
It's
biggest
getting
battle.
there quick enough.
Yeah. And I'll concede, the helicopter may not have saved her life, and I can't begin to torture ourselves with that possibility or in any way show disrespect to the care that she was given by the medical personnel. But I do know it would have helped.
The Fowlers believe more lives will be put at risk.
Well, we know what we went through with the chopper and how, with the time it took to get Alicia to hospital. And I'd just like to see the chopper here so the next person or the next people it happens to, they don't have to go through what we've gone through.
Come here and tell my 6 kids that we don't need a chopper. Come here and tell them that Alicia didn't need a chopper. Tell the next lot of people that they don't need a chopper, because it's going to be needed.
Mary McDonald reporting there.